A massive change is happening in America, and a lot of people don't really seem to know about it. So weird. We are literally redefining American power. Donald Trump gave an address to the nation. We're going to look at it today. We went to the moon again, which is pretty diabolical, and a historic event, by the way. Trump wants to drop NATO. Libs are losing their mind and have no idea what's actually going on in Iran. HASAN PIKER got absolutely exposed. He was saying that the Iranian regime massacring their own people is a hoax and not actually real, unlike Palestine, where millions have died. And of course, judges still keep trying to help illegal aliens come in to essay our women. Because for some reason, that seems to be their #1 priority. Pretty beautiful. I'm going to cover the things in the way they need to be covered, even though no one seems to be wanting to cover them this way. I am currently away for the holiday, so I'm recording this video in my car. Sorry if there are any technical difficulties, but I just couldn't leave you hanging. So much stuff is happening, and not enough people are actually talking about what it really means. Donald Trump made a diabolical post. The biggest bridge in Iran is tumbling down, never to be used again. Much more to follow. Truly diabolical stuff. It is time for Iran to make a deal before it is too late, and there is nothing left of what can still become a great country. As you can see, that was a bridge. Pretty insane stuff. Now, of course, the third world is very upset about this. It's terrorism! Yes, definitely fighting against a terrorist regime that has killed thousands of us is totally terrorism. State terrorism. We do it to others, and then shocked when others do it back to us. They're not doing it back to us. They've been chanting death to America since their inception. They have killed thousands of us that had nothing to do with them. They have formulated all amounts and fomented terrorism around the world, funding terror, literal terror squads in England, all right, in Cuba, in Venezuela, in their own region, in Iraq, in Israel. You know, dealing with all of these people is honestly insane. And my new mode of operandi is very simple. When Donald Trump does something and a HASAN is very upset about it, I am very happy about it. So Pete HEGSETH says, back to the Stone Age, pretty diabolical. And oh, HASAN is mad. Remember when the monarchist section of Iran diaspora actually believed Trump and co were coming to save the country and cheering on this war? Dumb fuck. They're still cheering on this war. And it's not just the monarchist section. It's just the people that don't want to be destroyed and controlled and mass killed by an Islamist terrorist regime. Of course, Mehdi Hassan doesn't think that Islamic terrorism is a problem. Literally, no one is surprised by this. A guy named Hassan supports Islamic terrorism. Well, I couldn't possibly understand this. But they are still cheering on because they understand that we are fighting against an evil occupational regime that tortured their people, killed tens of thousands, and also killed thousands of us. Right, so Tucker Carlson reacted to Donald Trump's speech by saying that it's the end of the global empire of America. Turbulence ahead. Long term, it's good. All right, I didn't watch his hour-long schmooze. I'll be honest here. This guy... He's been pretty awful lately. And you know who else agrees? Donald Trump. Donald Trump tweeted, Douglas Murray, quote, deranged Tucker Carlson backstabs Trump with a whole article. Oh my God. It's honestly insane. All right. And of course, there is Hassan angry at Trump's speech, which means it's going to be a banger. Trump said something about how Somalians are low IQ. And Mehdi Hassan says, this is the proud language of a white supremacist. Yes, it's a white supremacist to understand how IQs work, I guess. Third world logic is like, you called a dumbass a dumbass? You're racist. You called someone with an average IQ of 67 a dumbass? That's white supremacy. Unfortunately, that is just true. And you might suck. It might suck that you are going to bat for literally a goat-fucking pedophile country that legalized rape until 2019, where we forced them to stop. There is no current government. They're killing each other. But you could trust a Hassan to be very upset when we make fun of retards. He would know. He is one. All right, we got Trump ruffled enough feathers. We got to see what the actual speech was about. Apparently, it was a banger. There he is. Oh, look how orange. Look how orange he is. I've never seen someone so orange.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mr. President.
My fellow Americans, good evening. Let
Hello.
me begin by congratulating the team at NASA.
Thank you.
And our brave
I work at
astronauts on
NASA,
the
actually.
Successful launch of
That's true.
Artemis 2. It was quite something.
Yep, we're going to talk about that.
It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown.
We're going to talk about that.
Very substantially past the moon.
Turns out America's awesome.
Home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way.
No, but seriously, look up, does Taku work at NASA?
We want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since the United States military began Operation
Epic Fury.
Epic Fury.
All right, how's it going so
targeting
far?
the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
Based, by the way.
Iran.
I'm sure that someone's seething. No, how can you kill terrorists? God, I love it when people are angry. All the Hassans literally losing their mind. Is it racist to call out people named Hassan? No, they just usually are retarded. Statistically, Hassans are retarded.
These past 4 weeks, our armed forces.
If you're watching this and you're not a retarded Hassan, well, you lucked out.
Have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield.
That's right.
Victories
killing
like few
terrorists.
people have ever seen before.
All right, let's kill those guys. Get the hell out of there. Focus on jailing judges in America, please.
Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them, terrorist regime they led, are now dead.
They died like a
command
dog.
and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak.
All right.
Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before.
No, this is huge. Listen, if the result of this whole thing would be actually stopping Iran from being like a global shithole, all right, sponsoring terrorists and funding China and Russia and doing all that shit, if whatever he does could do that, this would be a diabolically massive America W. The question obviously is if this isn't enough and we'll need to deal with these dumb fucks in another 5 years. Listen, man, I don't want to wake up, roll over, open Twitter and see Netanyahu in 3 years talking about how Iran is 2 weeks away from a nuclear bomb. all right, please.
This current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world.
Oh my God.
After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world.
True.
And now we're working along with Venezuela. And
they became our friend.
Joint venture partners.
Some would argue they became our bitch. I would argue they became our friend.
Incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas. The second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America.
I do love the United States of America.
Totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help.
Listen, we're not there for the oil, but we'll take it.
Our allies. Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
This is probably Trump's most consistent position. You know, like you said, mass deportations, and we didn't even get mass deportations. We got a lot of deportations, not nearly enough. But the reality is, we don't have mass deportations. We still need to get back to that, sir. All right, focus all the energy that you're focusing on blowing up terrorists. Can we focus it on jailing judges here, please, and deporting illegals? But anyway, what his most consistent promise was, he will not let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years. Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut.
What a nightmare.
The slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs.
Iraq.
They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel.
Hamas.
Something that most people have never seen anything like.
Yeah, what a nightmare.
These
guys were fucking horrible.
Recently
like, dude, I love watching the leftists defend these guys. It's like literally my favorite thing. Watching leftists wake up in the morning and be like, holy fuck, no kings in America, but yes, Ayatollahs in Iran. It's literally my favorite thing.
Killed 45,000 of their own people who were
Damn,
protesting
bro.
in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat.
Yeah.
The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years.
Yeah, I love watching people say, like, wow, it really sucks we're at war. True. It really sucks that there's terrorists trying to get nukes and kill us that we have to go kill. True. True. Really sucks. Really glad. Thank God we didn't have a lot of soldiers dying. Thank God. Thank God this isn't one of those massive regime change war on the ground. You know, if Bush would be president, we would literally be in the middle of a gigantic bloodbath war on the ground. All right. So I see that as a huge W.
Should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first. And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani.
He died like a dog.
In my first term.
A beautiful dog.
He was an evil genius.
He's fucking
brilliant
dead.
Person, a horrible human being, however.
Died like a rat.
The father of the roadside bomb. And he lived just horrible.
Very dead, motherfucker.
Iran would have been.
No, I love how literally no one complained when we did that. Hold up. Why did no one? Everyone was like, wow, that's amazing. No one complained now. It's almost like we're literally being fed a gigantic psyop by the third world. And people are falling for it. Iran never posed a threat to you. I mean, yeah, they killed thousands of your people and they're trying to build nukes to kill the rest of you. But, like, they never really pose a threat. Like, there really is no argument to be made.
Perhaps in far better, stronger position. He lived. We would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then, very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash. Took it out of banks from Virginia,
I wonder how they were able to fund Hezbollah.
D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had. Flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with
Or was he perhaps really on their side all along?
Their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. Would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts, had I not terminated that terrible deal. And I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do.
He did the thing, boys.
They made mistakes, and I am correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything
We hammered
like
them
it.
at midnight. I hammered them harder than Biden's
B-2
mother.
bombers performed magnificently.
They were hammered. No nukes.
We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear.
Yeah, like the major argument here is, all right, so we blew up their nukes, and I see people complaining, oh, we blew up their nuclear sites, blah, 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 how we didn't even know that they were going to make. Why did they have 60% enriched uranium when they only needed 2% to actually use it for civilian use? That's one question. And two, why didn't they give us their uranium? Why didn't they give it up? They could have avoided all of this, literally all of this, if they weren't just hell-bent on destroying the world. It's like actually that simple.
Their program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible and They had some weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that
True.
out. We took them out. We took
Yup.
them all out. So
He's right.
that no
They fired a missile that actually reached an island that no one expected them to be able to reach.
one would really dare stop
True.
them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end,
But no one did anything about
those are
it.
just words if you're not
He's
willing
right.
to take action.
Dude, I love how France is like, we condemn Iran's trying to build a nuke. Wow, you're so brave. Now, what are you going to do about it? Oh, we're going to condemn America for doing something about it also, actually.
When the time comes.
Yeah.
As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces.
Not gonna lie, he's really repeating himself a lot here.
Extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion.
All right.
As we celebrate this progress,
Here we go.
think
Here we go.
especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight.
Rest in peace.
To prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month, I've traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, "Please, sir, please finish the job." Every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE,
There it is.
Kuwait,
the new alliance. Fuck you, NATO.
Bahrain.
Where were you guys?
Great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers.
He is completely correct about this. The entire world, and that includes like the whole media sphere, talking about how it's America's fault that the oil prices increased. No. It's actually the terrorists' fault for committing acts of terrorism and blowing up random civilian ships in the Strait of Hormuz. That was not America's fault, right? That is not a normal response whatsoever. Like, in a war, you don't just bomb random civilian ships and then blame us for starting the war. Absolutely fucking not. I feel like the entire world's priorities are off kilter because there's this leftist spin on all of the media and on all of these Euro countries, and the way they address things honestly sets the tone for everyone. America bombing terrorists in the Middle East did not cause oil to increase around the world. What caused oil to increase around the world was terrorists in Iran bombing and blowing up civilian ships in a random strait somewhere near their country. All right? To be clear, that is not our fault that they're committing acts of terror. They could be committing acts of terror whenever the fuck they want. Right? That's the main issue, and that's why we need to get rid of these guys now, while they're weak and pathetic and gay, not when they're strong and actually have nukes. It's so obvious.
And neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine.
They're gay.
The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, We've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember, because of our drill baby drill program, America has plenty of gas.
That's right. We're not woke anymore. We're not doing the woke suicide strategy that Europe does.
Producer of oil and gas on the planet.
Europe be like, we have no oil, but we're also woke. So it's worth
Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined.
True.
Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world.
Yeah, we're pretty awesome.
We're in great shape for the future. America. The United States
God bless.
Imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Drop the hammer on NATO.
Completely decimated.
Drop the hammer.
They are
Do it, Mr. President.
Both militarily and economically. And
I just don't like being beheld to woke assholes forcing us to comply to their gay shit. All right? I really want to leave NATO and the UN. I don't want to be part of this shithole where we have to be, like, literally destroyed because these retards are taking advantage of us constantly. We all voted that you have to give us your money. Wow, that's great. Thanks, guys.
Every other
Big
way,
help.
and the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must.
Yes! That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Holy fuck! Yes! That's right, bitches. We're America, the best country on the planet. We are not your pack horse. We are not your mule. All right, we're not doing this. We are not gigantic teats for you to suckle upon. All right, get your own fucking oil. It's not our problem. But you started a war that caused terrorists to do terrorism. Well, that doesn't sound like an our problem. We needed to kill terrorists. Now, you want oil? Go get the fucking oil. You're getting it from a nation that has no military anymore. You're welcome. Yeah, this is a new stage for the United States. We're entering a new era. An era of, no, you can't just fuck us and we'll say thank you.
Cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it.
Do it, man. Do it yourself. Do it yourself.
It will be helpful.
That's right.
They should take.
We're nice people. We're still allies. We love you guys. We're just literally not your donkey.
The lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves.
That's right.
I have a suggestion. Number one, buy oil from the United States of America.
Oh my God, dude! What can I say? God decided to give us North America, fantastic land, beautiful, bountiful oil. We have plenty of shit for you. We can give it to you if you like.
Plenty. We have so much. And number two, build up some delayed courage.
Oh,
should have done it before. Should have done it with
Oh
us.
my God! Absolute
cinema.
Cinema.
Protect
Just do it.
Use it for yourselves.
Just do it, bro. Oh, you don't like the fact that Iranian terrorists bomb people in the Strait? Well, that sounds like Iran is pretty bad, huh? Man, it would have been really nice to have you on our side when we were fighting them. Well, you decided not to.
Essentially,
God, this is so based.
The hard part is done, so it should be easy.
That's right. You're welcome.
And in any event, when this conflict is over,
we're receiving thank you notes at this time.
Naturally, it'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil.
Right, I love how everyone was crying about how is Trump going to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Trump's like, no, actually, I don't give a fuck about the Strait of Hormuz. That's not our problem. We wanted to kill terrorists that have been killing Americans and that have been threatening us with nukes for years. So we went to kill those terrorists. But what about the Strait of Hormuz? Why? Are terrorists bombing civilian ships on the Strait of Hormuz? Well, that sucks, I guess. I'm sorry, man. I know that a lot of people are mad at Trump for this. I just think this is unfathomably based.
Because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas
That's right.
prices will rapidly come
Must suck
back
to
down.
be gay,
Stock
Europe.
prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible
Side quest, kill some goat-fucking, mass-killing, pedophile terrorists in Iran.
With our historic tax cuts, where people are just...
We're on a schedule. We're on a schedule. It's April now. We need a new El Presidente for the month. We're thinking Cuba.
Now, talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible. They are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great, big, beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago.
Mr. President, could you please deport Somalis?
I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved.
That's right.
Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly.
Oh, fuck. You mean it's not going to be a forever war? But Tucker Carlson told me that we would be there for 10 years. But Anna Kasparian literally was having a meltdown on her period on Piers Morgan, talking about how actually this is going to be a forever war for Israel. Wow! You mean to tell me that I was right and they were all wrong? But Schuenhead and I literally made a wholesome bet that I said it was not going to be a forever war, and she seemed to say it was going to be a forever war. Wow, this is crazy. Nux vindication on the timeline?
We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back.
That's the timeline, 2 to 3 more weeks.
To the Stone Ages.
Oh, shit!
In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original...
Look, man, so my stance on this always was, America needs to do what's best for America, and that includes killing fucking terrorists that are trying to kill us. That said, it is not our duty to do regime change, and I don't want to sit there forever. That being said also, I really want a regime change, because I pray every day for the Iranian people that they would be able to somehow rise up and overthrow this terrorist dictatorship that's been torturing them for 47 years. I have been really keeping those guys in my prayers. What an unbelievable tragedy they had to undergo. And we fucking helped a lot, to be clear. Now, it is not our obligation to lose thousands of soldiers and put boots on the ground for 10 years to try to do this, though. All right, I really hope that my stance on this has been clear. And I also want to note, I did not change my stance from day one for 1 second. I have been so fucking consistent, it's crazy.
Leaders' death. They're all dead.
Yeah, we killed them. They're dead now.
The new group is
awesome,
less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously.
Oh, shit,
we have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding, but we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated.
Oh, shit, that's a big percent.
We are unstoppable as a military force.
And they're gay.
The nuclear sites that we obliterated...
Did you hear the Ayatollah's a fag?
Two bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again.
Oh my God, dude.
We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important.
Yeah, that's what happens when you drastically win a war. You get to actually make statements like this. I love how people keep saying, but Trump is not making fair deals. Fair deals. Fair deals. We won a war. We make all the deals now. That's how it works.
We keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation so powerful, so brilliant against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And
He
the
is
country
right here.
has been eviscerated.
He is right here. The backlash that he's been receiving for a forever war is honestly insane. Like, it is so obviously fomented and a gigantic psyop. I think largely from, like, third worlders. Yeah, no, this is huge.
And essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing.
True, they're believing AI slop videos from Pakistan instead.
Leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing. The brilliance of the United States military.
We are pretty brilliant.
Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces.
Amen.
And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
That was actually good. He did a lot of repetition there, but he actually he stuck the landing, bro. Now, you got to see what the left is doing about this. You have to see the way the left has been handling this. So, the New York Post released an article, Iranian regime launches execution spree over growing fears of another uprising, existential threat. Right, so Iran is getting so decimated by the United States, despite what Pakistani Twitter farmers tell you, they are terrified that the actual people are just going to rise up and obliterate them. So they are preemptively mass executing them in the streets. Remember when the UN condemned America for killing terrorists? But the UN is, like, absolutely silent when something like this happens. It's not surprising. There's literally a Christian genocide in Nigeria right now, and no one's talking about it. There's a Christians getting genocided and pogroms against Christians in Syria, and nobody's talking about it. And, of course, no one's talking about the fact the Iranian regime is massacring tens of thousands of their own people in the streets. Now, one person that sort of talked about it is HASAN PIKER. Now, that's weird, because HASAN PIKER loves terrorists. So why would he why would he even talk about this, man? Why would HASAN PIKER talk about this? That's so weird. This goes against his entire narrative, you know, because he loves terrorists. Fuck, dude. What am I doing? Well, get an absolute load of this one, because this might be the worst thing you'll ever see.
Look, at the end of the day, I agree with you. Radicalism of any sort is bad, which is why this
they killed 40,000 people, man. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't, says Holocaust denier PIKER. They did not kill 40,000 of their own people in mass protests. What the fuck, man?
No, they fucking didn't. You're a goddamn idiot.
This dude believes that 1 million people were killed in Gaza, okay? In a war that they started, by the way. This actually did happen, as opposed to, 1 million people dying in Gaza in a war that they started. This is insane. He's just straight up denying the reality that they massacred tens of thousands of their own people.
You think that, okay? You're a fucking moron. I'm sorry. They did not kill 40,000 people, dumbass. They did kill a shit ton of people in the process of suppressing the protest that took place.
Are you just gonna leave that there? Excuse me, what? He's like justifying it. He's like, first he's like, no, it didn't happen. And then he realizes how bad that sounds. So he's like, actually, they did kill some people, like a lot of people, to suppress protests. So now killing people to suppress protests is a good thing? I remember when Renee Good committed suicide by cop in the United States, and this dude fucking lost his mind for a week.
Which, by the way, America and Israel openly admit that they played a role in.
Oh! America and Israel openly admit they played a role in what? The killing of the protesters or urging them to protest? There's a pretty big difference, I'd think. Right? So America and Israel are like, yeah, you guys should protest against your terrorist regime. They protest, and then 40,000 of them get mowed down, and he runs defense for the Islamic terrorists.
Okay.
By the way, you can add this to the checklist of HASAN terrorist organizations that he supports. This guy's one of the darlings of the left, ladies and gentlemen. Largest leftist streamer in America, openly supporting the IRGC.
But they did not kill 40,000 people in 2 days. Like,
so how many people did they kill? How many did they kill?
You're unbelievably dense. You have convinced yourself. It doesn't even It doesn't even matter. Like, them killing 10 people is still fucked up.
Oh, he realizes how bad it sounds.
Okay? I've never heard a consistent number on this from people that just turn around and say, oh,
they shut off the internet for the entire fucking country, fuckhead. What? Are you serious?
Killed, 80,000 people. I've heard 80,000, 50,000, 40,000. It's fucking ridiculous. Shut up. Jesus Christ.
And look at his chat. Just absolutely laughing.
Jesus Christ. How do you not recognize it? It's like, this is propaganda. Guys, how do you not recognize it? It's 50,000, 40,000. It's fucking ridiculous.
Look
Shut
at his
up.
chat. 40K in 2 days, Lamau. 40K in 2 days, Lamau. This is crazy. That's mathematically impossible. Oh, mathematically impossible for a terrorist regime in a country of 90 million people to kill 40,000 in 2 days. Excuse me. Are you retarded?
Jesus Christ. How do you not recognize it? It's like, this is propaganda to actually justify American and Israeli intervention. That's what you're leaning into.
This is absolute insanity and honestly evil shit. All right, so Iran massacred tens of thousands of people. Maybe it was 30,000, maybe it was 40,000. All right, and he just basically runs defense for the Iranian regime and saying, no, actually the numbers aren't true. The numbers aren't true, guys, actually. The numbers aren't true. And the craziest thing is, so many people are flip-flopping, and so many debates are getting absolutely shut down. All right, so this is Megyn Kelly. All right, right now she is freaking out that we're at war with Iran.
Says this: we need to know exactly who talked him into it and what representations were made to convince the president that this was a good idea. Who? Who specifically? The names we know are Bibi Netanyahu, first
Jew
and foremost. Lindsey Graham,
gay,
equally to blame. We know from the Wall Street Journal report that Mark Thiessen of Fox News,
owned by a Jew,
and General Jack Keane were
not a Jew, but he's probably on the payroll.
Major advocates of the war. Okay,
all right,
like those guys, but they appear to have been very wrong.
Also, really? About what? What were they wrong about? That we were able to obliterate Iran with minimal casualties, which we did? What were they wrong about exactly?
So again. And gosh, given her line of work, it's bizarre that I continually have to remind Megyn Kelly that you said this on camera.
Uh-oh.
Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush have all said that Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon. They can't. It's just this president, forgive me, but he had the balls to actually do something about it.
This was 8 months ago. What happened to you? What happened to you in 8 months, man? What happened? How did all these frauds so easily flip-flop over this Iran situation? It's like a gigantic third world psyop just worked on the dumbest fucking people in the country.
Big balls. It's Trump. This required massive balls. It's just, the guy's got a very steely spine and zero F's to give. Like he can't be pushed around. He can't
be pushed around. But who did it this time? Was it Netanyahu or Lindsey Graham?
Be scared. For all those reasons, Trump did what nobody else would do.
Now, we know she loves to comment on the appendages of men.
All right, I'm enough of that. But anyway, you get the idea. Less than a year ago, Trump has big balls, balls of steel. He can't be pushed around. Megyn Kelly yesterday. Who talked Trump into it? Bibi, Lindsey Graham, General Jack Keane. Like, it's unbelievable watching these people flip-flop. Now, Piers Morgan has his, general clown show that he does, every day, where he gets a lot of retards to fight with each other in possibly the most unbelievably hilarious so-called alleged news or broadcast of all time. So this is wild.
It doesn't obscure the fact that it's fundamentally illegal. Under the standards of the Nuremberg trials, aggression is the supreme international crime. That is what Trump undertook here. Even as
they killed thousands of Americans over the years, at least hundreds, but probably thousands. They also threatened us with that they were going to nuke us. They also tried to assassinate Donald Trump 2 times. That's enough, in my opinion. That's enough to call a war. Right? When an enemy nation tries to assassinate your president multiple times, that's enough to obliterate the fucking enemy nation, in my opinion.
Intelligence agencies affirmed a year ago, and this hasn't changed, that Iran did not have a nuclear weapons program. It limited its missile ranges. At best, they said by 2035.
But they lied. This is the best part. But they lied about it. He's like, we know that Iran limited its missile ranges. Iran lied. They literally had a missile that they fired all the way to the Garcia Island, which is 4,000 kilometers away, or 2,500 miles. So they literally did lie.
Okay, but hang on that point, because we do know they were clearly lying about the
Right.
capacity of their missiles, right? They fired a missile only last week, which went twice as far, a ballistic missile, twice as far as they had said that their missiles were capable of going. It actually...
All right. All right. So your own eyes, all right, what you saw with your own eyes, a fucking missile that they launched, you know, double the distance that they claimed they had the ability to launch, right? That should debunk your whole fucking worldview that we were dealing with decent people that were just totally not going to make a nuclear bomb with their 60% enriched uranium.
It didn't actually land on its target, but the distance it traveled would mean it could potentially get to Europe. It could get to London, to Paris, whatever. That is in direct contradiction to the undertakings Iran are given about the distances its missiles could go. So
Get ready to the response. This is going to shake you to your core.
they've clearly been lying.
Right.
Well, not necessarily, because first of all, even NATO said we can't confirm that Iran fired that missile.
What?
So I'm not even sure that it was Iran, but let's say it was Iran.
What? Wait. So they saw a missile flying from Iran to this island, and they're like, maybe Iran wasn't the one that fired the missile?
If it was Iran, then it's quite possible they put on.
Who else fired it?
Well, listen, I wouldn't put anything past Israel.
It was Israel! Israel snuck into Iran with their own ballistic missile launcher to fire a missile from Iran to the island to trick people into thinking that Iran has longer range. Oh my God, these people are actually demented.
Carry out all sorts of nefarious acts all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a false flag. Listen, let's
False
assume it was
flag,
Iran.
guys.
Hang on. Aaron, you're expecting me
let me
to...
finish the point here.
You're expecting me to believe that Israel deliberately fired a ballistic missile at an American base.
And no one noticed. No one noticed. All our satellites, they didn't pick up anything. All right, no one knew that it was Israel. We saw it coming from Iran.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. Believe it or not, that has happened in the past.
I mean, to be fair, this is coming from Anna Kasparian, who believes that Israel did 9/11 and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Israel decades ago attacked the USS Liberty, killed a bunch of US
Yeah, it was an accident.
soldiers. So actually, I wouldn't.
Horrible tragedy. Israel apologized. They investigated it 42 separate times. They found it to be an accident. Israel paid out millions of dollars to the families of the people that were killed. Unbelievable tragedy, for real. But that wasn't a false flag. That literally didn't get us into any war. Like, we didn't get involved in Israel's war because they bombed our ship, right? They immediately took accountability for it and tried to rescue survivors. Like, just to understand the difference here.
Wouldn't put it past them. Listen, let's assume it was Iran. Let's assume it was Iran.
How is that a false flag? They admitted it was them immediately.
A second. I'll just finish this point.
Is it possible?
If it was Iran, if I can finish this point, it's possible they put a smaller payload on the missile, which means it can travel further.
So they lied anyway.
And regardless, look, this whole debate is skewed because Iran is defending itself against an act of unprovoked aggression. And
No, and they try to kill our president multiple times and kill thousands of Americans over the years and threaten us with nuclear weapons. No, it's not unprovoked oppression. We're actually going to fucking kill these guys. It's awesome.
That is not targeting the quote-unquote regime. It's hitting schools. They massacred over 150 girls in the opening hours of this unprovoked war.
Maybe so.
Hitting pharmaceuticals.
Unfortunately, in wars, casualties happen. But of course, the regime was the target.
But the war wasn't
that make medicines. That make medicines
Aaron,
for Iranians.
Look, on this point,
they're hitting residential buildings.
Yeah, but Aaron,
they're
the
not going
idea.
after.
Okay, but look, I have serious misgivings about this war and have done from the start. I do not think that Iran had an imminent capacity to have a nuclear weapon or to use one. I think that is nonsense. And also flies completely in the face of what we were told after the 12-day war last summer. We were told that whole capacity had been destroyed anyway. So none of that makes any sense to me. But the idea that Iran had never provoked either Israel or the United States, I mean, that is also patently disingenuous because Iran for the last few decades has systematically waged a campaign of terror through the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, and other proxies.
The funny thing is, this is coming from libcuck Piers Morgan. It's unbelievable, the levels of retardation that we need to deal with. Like, this is the most pathetic shit in the universe. Israel fired the Diego Garcia. Israel fired it. Right? And this was another moment from the interview where they also just deny these tens of thousands of Iranians were murdered by the regime.
Impossible to get a word in edgeways on that show.
There's no evidence that 30,000 people were killed. Show me the evidence.
Evidence is there. Silence. And I'm going to tell you. In January, 2 senior officials from the regime's health ministry told...
Right? First they said there was no evidence, right? So here's the evidence.
Time magazine that per their internal tally, up to 30,000 people had been killed in the protest. Those same officials also said that the carnage was so significant that it overwhelmed the system, that they ran out of body bags. The #1 state of executions per capita in the world that manage corpses for a living ran out of body bags. So they had to use 18-wheeler semi-trailers to dispose of the corpses. Then Time magazine verified that those numbers from the health ministry up to 30,000 aligned with the reports from inside Iran, from the doctors and from the emergency teams. What did those reports say? They said that the tally of deaths recorded by every single hospital in every single city stood at 30,304.
It's an unbelievable atrocity. Like, these were monsters.
That it didn't include the bodies that were transported directly to the morgue, i.e. the people who were shot and killed on the spot. That 30,304 number is only the people that lived long enough to make it to the hospital and then died. Hence why Professor Roberts, who travelled to war zones to research civilian death rates, said that the 30,000 verified deaths were almost certainly an underestimate. An underestimate. What's the point in showing the evidence when no matter what you prove, nothing is believed? It's always just Zionist propaganda. And if there were deaths, it was done by Mossad, right? Because the Islamic regime went as far as to shut down the internet to make sure that there would be no evidence of a massacre that they didn't even commit.
Yeah, what a nightmare. She's just completely right here, actually. So everyone that's screaming and yelling, oh, the 30,000, 40,000 deaths, it's all a lie, it's all a hoax. The Iranian terrorists would never do that, never. They're such good people. I love Iranian terrorists. They're so nice. Well, anyway, so this is what we need to deal with every single day, just more and more liars. All right, so this is a guy that went around asking libtards that were protesting against the Islamic regime questions about, hey, this Islamic regime, hey, stupid questions, guys, but we want to understand exactly what's going on with the Islamic terrorism. And he was basically asking them dumb questions, and they completely fell for all of it. Please, forget the Strait of Hormuz. Free the gays of Hormuz. This went viral, and a lot of people are talking about how literally the left has no idea what they're talking about. They're protesting for things they don't even understand. Honestly, incredible stuff.
Isn't it a little bit homophobic that we're so focused on the Straits of Hormuz and not the gays of Hormuz?
Yes, I agree. Yes,
True.
for sure. Yeah.
So this dude dresses up as a libtard and asks libtards questions. Oh, that's fucking brutal, dude.
Why do you think they're willing to leave the gays of Hormuz behind?
I think it's just history.
This is an actual protester. This is an actual protester. A person going to the protest to voice her opinion. This is her opinion.
Historically, like, you know, gays have always been very discriminated against, which is wrong on so many levels.
Even in war.
Yeah, even in war.
True. They're not even killing the gays in wars. Horrible.
It just takes, I think, more, like more reform in government, obviously, and then also educating society.
I just feel like if we're going
How the fuck does this guy have a straight face? I'd lose my mind.
I'd
probably kill myself, honestly.
Leave the gay people behind.
Right,
I don't think we should go in there at all, but if we're going to, the gays of Hormuz, we should get the gays of Hormuz, turn it into Fire Island.
For sure.
Yeah. So we are here with the communists who don't support the Democrats either. We're going to find out some important questions about communism.
Communism means that the working class is organized against the Epstein class.
Yeah. Do you think that communists are more...
I love that they've come up with this whole Epstein class situation to protest the war with Iran. Meanwhile, literally, in Iran, everything Epstein did was legal in Iran. Right? You are allowed to take children as sex slaves in Iran. It is not illegal. It's honestly insane.
Or less open to... With the U.S. disaster, we asked the man with the Iranian flag for advice. I think America hates them because Iran is so
feminist. God, I think I saw this clip. Iran is just so feminist, that's why we're bombing them. They're too feminist. They just respect women too much.
So good.
Yeah.
There's no better place to be a woman than Iran compared to here.
Right.
With the rights we're taking away.
Exactly.
Do you hope that one day United States having system like Cuba?
Look, I hope so.
Oh my God! Cuba's falling apart because of communism, and they're all poor and dying. All right, there's blackouts and hospitals can't perform surgeries because they have no power. All right, and no war on Cuba, and they're just like, I hope we could become more like Cuba. Dude, this is honestly insane.
Do you think the Iranians maintain such good woman and LGBT rights as well?
Oh, you gotta stop, dude. Stop.
Well, they have a good leader.
Oh! Wow! A guy that massacred 40,000 of their own people.
Ayatollah, or
Yeah.
and,
He's very pro LGBT. They said he wants the next Ayatollah to queen out.
Be a woman.
No, a guy, but he's a queen.
Oh.
Like a gay guy. They wanted a gay guy to be in charge, yeah.
Who cares?
It's actually because Prophet Muhammad actually had a lot of gay friends.
That's true.
Oh, yeah?
That's true.
Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad actually went into the desert and was, and 5 large, sexy black men raped him in the desert all night, and it gave him the strength of 5 sexy black men. This is a real story, actually. It's the Night of Al-Zut. You should do some research. It's one of the greatest stories in the history of Islam, the wildest religion ever.
Oh, that's cool.
Free the gays of Hormuz! Free the gays of Hormuz!
The gays will refuse to let themselves be left behind here or in the Strait of Hormuz.
We are fighting for the gays of Hormuz right now.
Okay.
You know?
Okay! You fit right in, sir! You fit right in! Dude, these people are incredible. These people vote. These people fucking vote! All right, these are the retards that are screaming at you and calling you a fascist. These people mobilized. They got their fat fucking asses out of their house to go here in New York or wherever the fuck to scream and yell about Trump and America and protest, and they're fighting for the gays of Hormuz, guys. We are so cooked.
Respect to them.
You know?
If they need us to fight for them, I'm with it.
Gays of Hormuz are being attacked.
That's not cool.
Yeah, not good.
I'm a straight guy, but that's not cool.
Yes, they're going for the Straits of Hormuz, but they're not willing to protect the gays of Hormuz.
You see, I'm a straight guy. I'm an ally, man.
Oh,
I'm an
great.
ally. That's not cool.
Oh, this guy fucking sucks.
Seen, what do you think when you do see a
When I see it. I don't know. Never seen one other than my own.
What did people think of the persecutors of the gays of Hormuz?
Fuck Erica Kirk, Donald Trump, Aaron Trump.
Erica Kirk? Well, why? She's literally just a widow whose husband was murdered. Like, these people are actually fucking evil. It's insane. They're evil, and they're ignorant, and they vote. All right, and these are the people calling you a fascist.
Should we send Baron Trump to suicide bomb in Iran?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I mean, like, send him to the front lines.
Yeah, what about Don Jr. and Eric to the front lines?
Send them all.
Send them to the front lines. No gear, nothing, completely naked. Let them fight the wars they want to start.
The elephant, the ass, overthrow the Epstein class.
What do you think of people here who are still pros Democrats? The Democrats...
Because she's like a far left communist and the Democrats are evil.
Left shock enough?
No.
Who's first in the guillotine, Zaz? That's what I want to know.
I mean, it's got to be the man himself.
It's got to be Trump. I think Stephen Miller, number 2.
But, I mean, the only thing is, like, I wouldn't mind
Like,
if
they're
it-
actually like communist people trying to overthrow our country and execute people. This is why guillotines were made. Like it's actually insane when you think about it. Right? We have these deeply miserable, unhappy left-wing liberal white women storming the fucking country. All right, yelling and screaming, and they're just actually fucking evil. And they actually just want to kill us. All right, I have never seen a right-wing person say stuff like this. Like, this is insane.
guillotine was a little duller.
Yeah.
You know?
A few tries,
So maybe,
you know.
maybe Stephen Miller.
We warm it up with Stephen Miller, G80
Yeah, so get it dull. And
Can we throw in Ivanka?
Ivanka.
I mean, just-
I would like to give her. Melania, I'm okay. But like
Yeah,
Ivanka.
Melania will guillotine.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. About Eric and Donald, so. For
Oh, yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Eric and Donald. But you believe in the nonviolence.
Yes, yes.
Oh my God, that was perfect. He literally just goes through random family members of Donald Trump and how she's planning on murdering all of them because she wants her communist utopia. Again, for some reason that person's not in prison. But she's nonviolence. She's against violence and aggression. That's beautiful.
For you, they are protesting.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Gay rights are everything right now.
100%. Let the people live.
Yeah. How is Trump abolishing them?
Abolishing our rights?
The gay rights, yeah.
I mean, he just said it the other day, but
Yeah?
yeah, I mean, he doesn't care.
Are you an ally of the LGBT?
Because he's not removing anyone's rights, unfortunately. Anyway, moving on.
If LGBTQ is an ally of America and family...
It's obviously not. It votes to destroy America. The LGBT movement, quite literally, is an enemy of America. Like, you look at its voting, look at how it votes. Every single time it votes to destroy America. Yeah, of course it's an enemy of America. What are we talking about? I don't want to, like, kill them or anything. Of course, obviously. I'm not a leftist.
I am constitutionally bound to support that.
And what goes through your mind when you do see a as a straight guy?
That's a good question.
As a straight guy, yeah.
I only like looking at my own or when I'm cleaning my...
Dude, this is like an actual clown car of retards. I can't believe what I'm looking at. This is insane.
That's Stephen Miller.
Yeah, he's a bottom for sure. We have top. He's a top. And we also have bottom as well. What do you think of all this?
I don't know. It's New York. Everybody does whatever.
Will there be a nuclear deal? Will the strait be opened anytime soon? If you want to profit off of all the problems that are going on in the world, there's one place you can do it.
So we have the Venezuelans all in support of charging Maduro, but they're protesting against the white people. Delcy Rodriguez has a 67% chance on Calci to win. Are you on this side or are you on the side of the big booty Latinas?
Why do you think Trump's willing to leave behind the gays of Hormuz?
I can't believe people are falling for this, man.
Dude, Trump is... Oh, goodness. Fucking... don't even get me talking about that guy. That guy's a piece of shit.
Like, why do you think he's so after the Straits of Hormuz and not the gays?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I have no idea how that guy's brain works. He's like a chicken...
This guy doesn't know how that guy's brain works. Like, dude, we have a major issue in society. We need to limit voting ASAP. First and foremost, anyone that doesn't pay taxes should not have the right to vote. All right, you should not be able to vote on how my money goes to you. I mean, that's simple. But because there's no way this guy's fucking paying taxes. Right? No way. All right, like we have to do something about this. We have to limit voting rights. Why should this person have a say in what's going on in our country?
Chicken brain, right? So they say chickens are like a small brain.
The Strait of Hormuz.
Oh, am I worried about it?
Yeah.
Hell no. Let the prices go up. Maybe these people, you know, they think that
they hate America, dude.
You know, they want to drive their cars and luxury and all this stuff. Let them feel some pain. Yeah. I hope they blow it up. I mean,
he hopes they blow up the Straits of Hormuz. Yeah, fuck Europe. Yeah. Yeah.
Ship that go to there that's U.S. related.
He's literally advocating for terrorism. He is so comfortable standing in front of a camera and advocating for blatant terrorism against his own nation. This is treason. We got to do something, man.
Ships trying to protect
exactly.
Something big needs to happen. This is crazy.
Because we need our end to stop our police agenda, even if it means getting our soldiers.
Yeah. I agree.
This dude literally said he wants Iran to kill our soldiers to stop us.
Thinking of all the young cock we would lose made me want to find one of my own.
Sometimes the liberal guys need the aggression of the closeted conservative guys.
I think that...
A little bit.
Yes, any rage that we can take away from ourselves and put towards fighting for democracy in our country is a good thing.
Trump won the election, stupid fucking bitch.
So
get a husband. Maybe he'll educate you. This is insane. I'm losing my mind watching these people, man. I have to stop. I have to stop looking at what the other side thinks about politics. All right, I might just kill myself.
The closeted, grinder crashing Republicans want to come on over to our side. I'm going to fight for their rights too.
Still fuck Donald Trump all day, every day.
But how can I get a black boyfriend?
Hey, you can go down to 10th Ave. Hell's Kitchen. I ain't getting nothing.
We can all get dressed up as sharks together.
Oh, yeah!
They're fighting against fascism. This is unreal. How are these real people?
And then I'll be a little fishy.
Oh!
And then you can eat me.
Okay.
If the world has no kings, can I even be a queen?
And look at this dude. This is crazy.
Show me what you got.
Where did I end up, bro?
I like it a lot.
Burning Man was established on the fact that we all come in with nothing, and we leave with nothing.
And so true of life as well.
Well, that's what Burning Man is. It's about, it reflects life.
I look at the world and I look at the leaves and I go on the subway and I look at the tracks and I go, and when I put on my jeans, I zip my zipper, and when I put on my shoes, I tie my shoes. And all this time I wonder, where do they move all of the trash?
Apparently supporting the gays of Hormuz is right-wing.
Right-wing troll. Because he's supporting the gays of Hormuz.
You feel silly doing what you're doing. You're not the police. Go home. You having a nice time today?
I'm not really up for getting interviewed right now.
Oh, wow, yeah, well, I'm not up for getting followed and a sign pointed at me. Trying to meet some hot liberal guys.
The community free speech monitor had broken my spirit, so I headed to the...
Yeah, anyway, I think we get the idea. These people are retarded. This is insane.
Don't play that shit.
Was that a white supremacist?
Yeah, straight the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Those Venezuelans, the Venezuelans are traitors.
Venezuelans are traitors. They're traitors for having their dictator removed by Donald Trump and actually liking it. Yeah, dude. Anyway, I don't know how we're supposed to associate with these people. Like, they're actually fucking retarded. So these guys, I suppose, are angry at the Venezuelans for being happy that Trump liberated their country?
I'm saying that I'm saying the Venezuelans over there are traitors.
The fuck is you on?
I'm supporting the movement. What's a country whose political system you'd like to see ours have?
Sorry?
What's a country whose political system you'd like to see in America?
I think China has a pretty good political system. And I think, they have healthcare, they have housing, they get their education.
Get them out of our country!
Right now we're struggling.
Woman, get a husband! Get a husband! They'll teach you the ways of the world. This is crazy! This is like the childish, fat leftoid take every time. It's unreal.
Are you willing to sacrifice some democracy for that?
I mean, I think we've sacrificed democracy here, right? We have activists who are getting arrested, activists who are getting killed.
Activists who are getting killed after they run over police officers. What a savage fascist state.
Just for speaking out, I don't think that's a pretty democratic system at all.
I love how she's like, listen, guys, I have a plan. This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to fight for democracy by promoting Chinese communist imperialism. I'm fighting against fascism because I love democracy. My favorite country is China.
Would you ever date a guy if he was a capitalist?
The thing is, I'm a lesbian.
Just tell us why you...
It's so over. Oh, it's so over, bro.
Love big booty Latinas.
This guy's also a lesbian.
Well, because, listen, Latinas are super sexy, right?
Yeah.
You white boys, you like Latinas. Colombia's Venezuela, so I welcome you guys. When Venezuela is free, go visit Venezuela. You get a big booty Latina.
God
forbid a white boy catch a vibe.
Yeah, God forbid a white boy gets emotion, am I right? Would you be okay with the U.S. taking half the oil?
I mean, they're doing business right now. I don't think they're taking it. They're paying.
I love how, like, the people that are actually on the pro-U.S. side sort of know what's going on. Then you have, like, the communists and anarchists that are just mad about literally fucking nothing. The gays of Hormuz.
And also, that oil was being used to support the oppressive regimes in Cuba, and the oppressive regime in Iran. I mean...
Like, she actually knows what's happening, and of course she's on our side. Duh! It's crazy.
There's a connecting dot here. They're all repressive regimes.
What advice do you have for dating a Latina?
You have to be patient.
Yeah.
You have to be patient. You have to let her get mad.
Do you think the U.S. is afraid that people will see that Venezuela is actually a better system than we have?
I think for sure.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Communist Venezuela is so better.
Many people have said, if the Cuban system is so bad, why doesn't the U.S. just leave it alone?
What the fuck? They're dying in the streets because they have no electricity, boomer. It's crazy watching these people exist.
If socialism is gonna fail, leave the Cubans alone.
I have my corporate job, but you have to pay $16 for Sweetgreens just to get a fresh salad when the government could just be giving us salad.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
Yeah.
So many ways in which the government could support work.
Right, the government could literally take money from people that work to give it to retards that just hate our country. But instead, the country makes us actually get jobs, question mark, sometimes, not often, always, though. Isn't that beautiful? Man, every time I watch these, like, I lose so much faith in humanity. These are the retards telling us that we're immoral, living our life wrong, and don't know the facts. These are the people that are actually fighting against us, that are calling you a fascist on the internet when you mention, like, crime statistics. Holy fuck, this is the most radicalizing shit I've ever seen. Now, the people that are actually getting things done in America are having a very different life than the people that are fighting against things getting done in America. The people who are fighting against things getting done in America happen to be judges. The judicial class is actually, honestly, in my opinion, the biggest traitorous aspect of the United States, and it needs to get shut down. So, the Vice President, J.D. Vance's anti-fraud task force suspended 221 California hospice and healthcare providers so far. So, fraud is actually being cracked down upon. We have to talk about that briefly, and then we're going to get right into the judge situation. So, breaking news, we are finally getting arrests. I can't believe I'm even saying the words. I've been praying for days like this. Breaking. 4 people associated with a company that operates homeless shelters arrested in New York City after they reportedly paid out bribes to the city leaders for kickbacks. So, the leaders were getting bribes from these people to take money from our government, which is us, the taxpayer, because they fucking hate us.
Roberto Samity walked out of Brooklyn federal court.
Oh, good shit.
After his arraignment.
That's right.
He's one of 4 people now facing charges in a corruption investigation tied to the city-funded homeless shelter organization, Braggs. Federal prosecutors say Samity and another defendant, Ronald Jean Torellis, stole more than $1 million from the taxpayer-backed nonprofit.
Wow.
They now both face several charges, including wire fraud and embezzlement. The indictment, unsealed Tuesday, drawing swift reaction from Mayor Zoran Mamdani.
Of course.
We'll definitely be looking into these because any...
Apparently government leaders got kickbacks, sir. I'm just saying.
Allegation, especially if it's being substantiated, of improper action and behavior is one that has to be followed up on.
Prosecutors say the shelter leaders steered contracts worth millions of dollars to favored vendors controlled by Eduardo St. Fort and Miguel Jorge in exchange for bribes and kickbacks.
That's so weird because Eduardo and Miguel Jorge are classic straight white Christian male names, you know? When I think Miguel Jorge and Eduardo, I'm thinking Hasidic Jews. You know, that's what I'm thinking.
Jorge was also arraigned Tuesday. St. Fort will be arraigned at a later date.
Weird.
Both face program bribery and related charges. The indictment comes as investigators also probe whether City Council member Farrah Lewis and her sister Debbie Lewis,
here it is,
an aide to Governor Kathy Hochul,
here it is,
accepted bribes.
Here it is. Government officials going to jail. I love it, man. Please get me more of this.
Connected to city funding for the nonprofit.
I'll take a grande.
According to a search warrant viewed by the Associated Press. The sisters were not among those taken into custody.
Yet.
A spokesperson for the city council responding in a statement saying the council takes any potential...
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't do fucking anything, which is why they didn't notice until a separate investigator actually picked up on it. Anyway, it's not stopping there. So no wonder why Gavin Newsom is suing to block Trump's executive order requiring barcode tracking for mail-in ballots. You see, California vote fraudster Shakir Khan... sounds like a straight white Christian male to me, had 71 separate names and did 41 mail-in ballots at his single house. All right? The thing that never happens keeps happening. Isn't that weird? Look how weird that is. This guy, this dumb fuck over here, this straight white Christian male, this Zionist Jew. This Jew over here, yeah, Shakir Khan over here, voted 41 times fraudulently. All right, now this is absolute that we know about so far. Absolute insanity. Trump vindicated once again, and of course the left is anti this idea because they're trying to cheat. Now, understand the actual threat to our country. So, ABC News tweeted this. I covered this very briefly yesterday, but the story got so much worse. The Trump administration must restore the legal status of potentially hundreds of thousands of immigrants who came to the United States illegally through a Biden-era pathway, a federal judge ruled on Tuesday. Now, understand the context. The context is actually very sad and simple. The context is actually, Biden took an app for commercial truckers to schedule cargo inspections at the border, converted it into a one-stop digital pathway for nearly a million people. The number's at like 900,000. All right, to walk up to the southern border, illegally enter the country, and what this Democrat judge is saying, now you must give them citizenship. Understand that this is the rape of our country in front of our eyes, and the judges are letting it happen. Now, Bukele, the person in charge of the president of El Salvador, didn't save El Salvador because he arrested the criminals, although that helped. He saved it because he removed the judges. Communist judges are the sword and the shield of the communist revolution here in America. Removing them is everything. To quote Nayib Bukele, a man that actually fucking succeeded and turned El Salvador from the worst fucking shithole in the world to a beautiful paradise. If you don't impeach the corrupt judges, you cannot fix the country. They will form a cartel and block all reforms, protecting the systemic corruption that put them in their seats. We need one of these guys in our country immediately, because this is really bad. So understand what's going on. Biden badly misused immigration parole, using it unlawfully to bring millions of illegals into the U.S. A federal judge just told Trump he can't reverse Biden's unlawful use of this narrow authority. This is insanity. And like, we have Biden, puppet of the Democrat regime, bring in infinite retards into our country. Trump wants to get them out, and a random dumb fuck woke communist judge is like, actually, not only do you have to let them stay here, but you also have to make them citizens so that they can vote and not vote for you. So meanwhile, in Seattle, this is a repeat offender. This is horrifying. All right, look at this guy just trying to push him in front of the train. He just literally tries to murder this guy. He literally just tried to murder the guy, and this is a repeat offender. Many such cases. All right, this Christian straight white male. Yeah, many such cases. This straight white Christian male over here tried to murder this guy. And he was already arrested many times. Now, the reality is, the judge responsible for letting him out should be charged with him. And this is just objectively correct. These judges need to fucking go away forever. All right? We have a major issue in our country, and it's being facilitated by a untouchable judicial cartel trying to kill us. All right? We need to do something. All right? So here's the case that just happened yesterday. 7-month-old baby clinging to life after being shot by a pair of moped-riding thugs in New York City. Now, well, turns out the baby ended up dying, succumbing to his injuries. Soft on crime policies have consequences. They end up getting innocent people and children killed. It's insane. So understand exactly the way this is operating. Understand the scam in front of our eyes. So Trump is doing his best to outlaw birthright citizenship. He wants to undo this rule. Now, the reality is he's completely correct about it. Birthright citizenship is a giant scam. A lot of people think that birthright citizenship is fair. It's totally fair that if someone illegally entered the country and gave birth in our country, now the child becomes an American citizen. But those people, unfortunately, are retarded and gay. They're faggots and queers, gays and homosexual. Okay, I'm getting too excited about that. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that's the dumbest fucking argument on the planet. All right, America isn't magic land that any baby born on America should automatically become as American as me and you. All right, that's fucking stupid and retarded. And a lot of people like telling you that it's racist to say that we shouldn't have birthright citizenship, but birthright citizenship makes absolutely no fucking sense. It doesn't. It's an exploit. It is quite literally not logical in any way that people could come into our country illegally. They'll break into our country, give birth in our country, and boom, that baby is now a citizen. And now you can't even deport the parents because you're separating families or whatever the fuck the gay party of the United States is saying. So it's insane that we need to deal with this shit. I'm so fucking mad even thinking about how this scam was allowed to exist for so long.
About birth tourism. It's booming. In 2020,
right? Do you understand what that means? Birth tourism? All right, you get some guy from Pakistan whose 6 wives are all pregnant. All right, he books a little quote-unquote vacation to New York, right? Because they would love to see the Empire State Building. And then poof, all 6 of his wives have children. And now all those children are American citizens. This is the plan and plot to replace us. All right, this is the great replacement. It's not a theory anymore. The great replacement fact. All right, now listen to these numbers, and this was posted on mainstream media. All right, this isn't Alex Jones. All right, this is mainstream media because it's actually that obvious that they're raping our country.
About birth tourism, it's booming. In 2023, over 300,000 babies were born to unauthorized or legal temporary immigrants.
You understand that? You understand that?
Mothers. Add that in total. It's 9% of the U.S. births.
9% of births in the United States were for people that broke into our country illegally, had a baby here, and boom, that baby is now an American citizen, as American as me and you, because he has papers that say so. Yep, that's right. His father might be a goat fucker from Pakistan, but we can't look at that because that's racist. So we just have to accept the fact that literally a tenth of our births these days are from illegal aliens that just jumped the border and decided to give birth here because it would be super easy to scam the system that way. You know, because America's the best country on the planet, and they're all coming from shitholes. You know, they talk about how Somalia is paradise over there, but no one's running away from America and going to Somalia. No one's doing that. All right, they come from shitholes to rape our land and our culture, and the Democrats let it happen because they want votes. All right, this is how they do the I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Democrats want votes, so they let these retards into our country. These retards want to conquer the world and leave their shitholes. So they come to our country. All right, they shake hands, and the American people are the losers that have to unfortunately deal with this, and we can't actually remove them because a district court judge said that nope, we have to follow a really gay, retarded ass law that says that nope, these people are just as American as all of us, and they will vote. And you know what? They're gonna vote for the party that'll bring in all their extended family from Pakistan into the country. Because obviously, wait, you think they're going to vote against mass migration? Are you kidding me? They want all of their cousins. They have like 400 cousins, all named Abdullah. What are they going to do if those guys are still living in a shithole in Afghanistan? Wouldn't it be better if those guys instead lived in New York City?
In that given year. When we look at how that shakes out over time, a clear spike in the number of births to unauthorized immigrant mothers in the United States from 2019 to 2023. That's unprecedented. It's unforeseen. It's undeniable. But Chief Justice Roberts, unconvinced.
It certainly wasn't a problem in the 19th century.
No, but of course, we're in a new world now, as Justice Alito pointed out, where 8 billion people are one plane ride away from having a child who's a U.S. citizen.
Well, it's a new world. It's the same Constitution.
This is such a retarded argument, man. All right, so what he's saying is because there's a rule for birthright citizenship that was made in the 1800s, all right, now that we have an unprecedented disaster of people just hopping on a plane, flying over to our country, giving birth here, and now raping our country and replacing our people, yeah, now we can't do anything about it. In 1800, a couple of people that couldn't have possibly fathomed that this would be happening to us, they said so, and there's nothing we can do about it now. This is actually fucking retarded. Actual insanity. Stephen Miller tweeted, birthright citizenship means the children of illegal aliens can vote to tax your children and seize their inheritance. This is a very blunt way of putting it, but he's just absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. 2 illegal aliens having a baby should not produce an American citizen. It should produce 3 deported illegal aliens. That's just the reality, man. This is fucking insanity. This is absolute insanity. It does not make any sense, right? If this was a video game, this would be an exploit that would be patched immediately because there is no way this makes sense. Now, to understand, the U.S. Supreme Court rules against Colorado's ban on conversion therapy for the LGBTQ minors, the minors that are retarded. So anyway, final vote against ban 8 for ban 1. All right, so Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, we'll talk about her more in a second, was the lone dissent. All right, so Ketanji Brown Jackson, woke judge on the Supreme Court, is against the idea of allowing Colorado to ban people to talk to children about how actually maybe they aren't a woman trapped in a man's body. Maybe they're just going through something called puberty, all right? And they're confused, all right? But so according to her, you're not allowed to even tell that to children, all right? That was illegal according to her, all right? So you're very cool. You're allowed to literally castrate children, but you're not allowed to tell children, whoa, maybe you shouldn't castrate yourself. Isn't that cool? So anyway, so that's what we're dealing with, this Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson over here. So she just had a clip that was going super viral because everyone's realizing that she's evil and she hates our country. So get a load of this one. This might shake you to your core because this is insane.
I was thinking about this, and I think that...
Woo! Thinking? Damn, this is crazy. First time?
There are various sources that say this.
All right, get ready.
That you obviously have permanent allegiance based on being born in whatever country you're from.
All right, so being born in whatever country you're from is not a real sentence, actually, but continue.
That's what everybody recognizes. But you also have local allegiance when you are on the soil of this other sovereign.
Meaning, if you're an illegal alien in the United States, you should be treated like an American citizen in literally every possible way because you are on the soil. Let's hear her example to substantiate her obviously retarded anti-American argument. Holy shit, I just realized she's black.
I was thinking, I, a U.S. citizen, am visiting Japan.
Okay.
And what it means is that, if I steal someone's wallet in...
Why would she think about this even? I'm not saying this is from a racist place. I'm just saying her first thought was stealing someone's wallet in Japan. I'm just saying, I'm not being racist, I swear. I swear, the stereotypes write themselves. Stop it. Why didn't you come up with something else? Oh my God. Why couldn't she say open up a Leering Center or something?
Japan,
what I was saying.
The Japanese authorities can arrest me and prosecute me. It's allegiance meaning.
So what she's saying is, everyone that invades America should be treated as an American, because if you go to Japan and steal a wallet there, they will treat you under Japanese law. Not only does this argument make absolutely no sense in literally any way, but you know Japanese law is fine you and deport you, right? You realize that's Japanese law. So this is the stupidest fucking argument on the planet. All right, she thinks that if you enter the United States illegally, you should just poof magically become a citizen, and all your children should also become citizens, because you're always judged based on the allegiance of the land that you're in. Just like how if you steal a wallet in Japan, they treat you like a Japanese person.
Can they control you as a matter of law? I can also rely on them if my wallet.
We need to get rid of the judge cartel. This is crazy.
Wallet is stolen to, under Japanese law, go and prosecute the person who has stolen it. So there's this relationship based on, even though I'm a temporary traveler, I'm just on vacation in Japan, I'm still locally owing allegiance.
Right, you have to follow the laws of the places that you go. That has nothing to do with birthright citizenship. All right, that has absolutely nothing to do with becoming an American citizen and preventing you from getting deported. It has nothing to do with any of that. All right, it just means that you're judged based on the laws of the land. Now, the laws of the land are we're going to fucking deport your ass. All right, that's the law of the land. This is crazy. If I steal a wallet in Japan, I'm subject to Japanese law. In a sense, it's allegiance. Therefore, birthright citizenship. This is the most retarded thing I've ever seen in my life. Your Honor, my client is American because he committed his crimes in America. This is literally the Saul Goodman level argument. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. All right, so Asmongold crashes out on this, and I think that everyone needs to talk about this, because destroying this judicial cartel that's literally raping our country is a priority. Whoever runs for president in 2028 needs to put that on their fucking card. Get ready. It gets hairy.
I was laying in bed reading these arguments for birthright citizenship, and I was...
There are no arguments. There is no argument for birthright citizenship. America is magic soil, and it transforms you into a new person because you're born in America. Sorry, that doesn't fly, actually. Nope.
Malding. Supreme Court appears poised to strike down Trump's executive order that ends birthright citizenship for illegal aliens on the Fourth Amendment.
I think it's probably one of the most unbelievable examples of judicial coup ever. All right, if you could stop this. There is no reason why someone should break into our country illegally, drop, oopsie, a baby plopped out of my vagina, and now all of a sudden this baby has American rights, has to be protected as an American. It's absolute insanity.
I'm gonna be honest. If the Supreme Court strikes it down, we need a new Supreme Court.
He's totally right about this. He's totally right about this. There is no case for birthright citizenship. That's the craziest part. Like, if this happens, we need to do something. We need to do something drastic. We need to get Mr. Bukele from El Salvador on the phone. We need to figure out how he did it.
The idea that you can have two fucking illegals that come over, have a kid here, and that kid is defaulted into America, she is so fucking retarded. We need to find a way to get...
She's not just retarded, she's also anti-American and hates us.
Her taken off.
She's doing her absolute best to destroy Western civilization because she blames slavery or something. And we have to deal with these people. All right, we have to deal with these people with chips on their shoulder because they're retarded and forever victims. All right, sitting here complaining about white people or whatever the fuck. All right, and using that little gay argument in the back of her mind, how she's trying her absolute best to destroy Western civilization because that's what the left wants. Okay, all right, I'm so fucking tired of making believe the left wants anything other than the destruction of Western civilization. All right, you could chalk it down to the fact that Western civilization is based on biblical values and they hate God. All right, you could chalk it down to that, okay? All right, or whatever you want, whatever argument. They're communists, they're Islamists, I don't give a fuck. All right, they want to destroy Western civilization. All right, that's why Islam doesn't like gay people, always votes for the gay party. All right, every single time. That's why leftists, lots of gay people, always vote to import more Islam. All right, it's not like their actual ideology matches in any way, other than they both want to fucking destroy Western civilization. So when I see leftists at this point, I just assume that's their default ideology until I'm proven wrong, which I'm often not. So when I see her saying that we don't want to remove birthright citizenship, my perspective is she just views birthright citizenship as a fantastic avenue to destroy the West. And you won't convince me otherwise until you give me a really good fucking argument, which I doubt you will.
The Supreme Court.
It's because I'm right. That's why you won't give me a good argument, because I'm actually right. And no one wants to even discuss it from this perspective, but I am just right.
This is insane. Listen to this.
On being born in whatever country you're from. That's what everybody recognizes. Yes. But you also have local allegiance when you are on the soil of this other sovereign.
What a stupid bitch. Did the people flying the planes into the Twin Towers on 9/11 have allegiance to America because they were on American soil?
True.
I was thinking, you know, I, a U.S. citizen, am visiting Japan.
Yeah.
And what it means...
I'm Japanese now.
...is
that's what it means.
You know, if I steal someone's wallet in Japan...
Funny example.
The Japanese authorities can arrest me and prosecute me. It's allegiance, meaning can they
This is crazy, dude.
Allegiance is control? So, wait a minute. Is Johnny Somali allied with Korea? Is Vitali allied with the
leftists don't even understand what words mean. Like, they literally just don't understand what words mean, and then they just make arguments with, like, actual word soup.
Philippines? Is Maduro allied with America now because he's in American jail? How the fuck did she become a Supreme Court justice?
DEI, ladies and gentlemen. All right, people were saying it's not a thing. DEI didn't earn it, bro. She's the diversity, equity, inclusion retard on the Supreme Court that's raping our country. That's why DEI is a problem. All right, DEI is a problem because at some point, some retard that doesn't earn the position is going to be in a position of power and destroy us. And that person is going to use her position to force us to have more retarded people get positions that they don't earn. Understand what we're doing here.
We need to have a subway, send her back to McDonald's. You need to go and retire. Can we just pay her her salary and you just go home and don't say anything ever again? Remember, she wouldn't define a woman?
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't.
Did she just say no? We're governed by retards. Please, for the love of God. Dude, we have to do something about this judicial shit.
I can also rely on them if my wallet is stolen to, you know, under Japanese law, go and prosecute the person who has stolen it.
So basically laws apply when you're in those countries? What does that have to do with allegiance or birthright citizenship or anything?
So there's this relationship based on, even though I'm a temporary...
So a foreign terrorist that comes into the United States to blow up a building, he can rely on us to arrest him, and that means he's allied with the United States. Oh my God.
Temporary traveler. I'm just on vacation in Japan. I'm still locally owing allegiance in that sense, just by virtue of being in the United States.
This is crazy, dude.
That's absolutely right, Justice Jackson.
About this.
Another one!
Crazy. Why, these people, they're co-opting the largest and most important court inside of America to push a basically radical takeover of the country.
True.
It's a bad idea to have a bunch of illegals, an entire industry in China that's built around having kids and maliciously taking advantage of our laws. They're coming over here, spawning kids here, and then taking advantage of our systems. This should be a 9-0 decision.
Yeah, it is actually that obvious.
Only question would be, how retroactive should we make this? That should be the only point of contention.
Honestly, he's completely right here. See, as far as I'm concerned, deporting every illegal alien, that is the standard. All right, the actual discussion needs to be, how do we denaturalize millions? All right, that's the real discussion. Deporting every illegal? Oh, that's fucking inevitable. They're all gonna go. They're all fucking going. All right, maybe not this election cycle, maybe next time, but at some point you're gonna push us too far. We're gonna elect some. We're gonna get a fucking Hitler. All right, look, I'm not proud of it. I don't want a Hitler, but you're pushing us down that path, guy. Yep. There are a lot of traitors in the United States, and it's not just the judges. It's also literally our state representatives. All right, Connecticut State Representative Mariam Khan, sounds like a straight white Christian male, appears to have replaced her American flag with a Pakistani flag. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that nice? See, this is insane. It's crazy that we need to deal with this every single day. Every single day. We have to wake up. Traitors are running our government. We go to sleep. We wake up. Traitors are running our government. We're getting replaced. We're getting killed. We're getting raped. We go to sleep. We wake up. More traitors are running our government. It's honestly insane. We need something really drastic to happen. This is not acceptable at all, and it's only getting worse everywhere. Until eventually the pushback gets too big. So ISIS calls on Muslims to set fire to churches and synagogues around the world on Easter. That's nice. That's pretty awesome. Love that. Love that. It's almost like they fucking hate us and want to conquer us and kill us or something. Now, on the eve of Holy Thursday, Chartreux boarding school, Catholic school in Lyons, France, was set on fire. Christianity under attack again. Where any media reactions? Tucker Carlson, you were talking about how a church was closed in Israel while it was getting bombed by Iran, but you're not going to talk about how there's literally an attack on a church like every single day in Europe by Islamists? Like, this is insane. We don't have to live like this, dude. We literally let the barbarians into the gates, and now we have to make believe that they're just like us. All right. So again, not trying to get controversial or anything. All right. But it seems like 6.4% of the population is doing 62.1% of the violent crime in Minnesota. Now, to be fair, this isn't just including black people. This is also including like Somalians. All right. So like, I mean, listen. Well, the numbers are skewed. Pay no attention. You're racist if you notice. Now, here's in my opinion, you have to be careful, because being racist is obviously, it's a human right. You have to be careful of society. Look, man, if you see some shit happening, you might have to cross the street, you know? Like, I'll be honest, pattern recognition is important. But I just think you have to talk about how, actually, don't get too racist, right? Because there are some fucking retards literally everywhere. All right, so Rupert Lowe, more on him in a bit. There's a link between rape gangs and one particular religion. We have seen it again and again and again in our inquiry. That religion is Islam. As a country, we have to have the courage to face up to that fact. This guy says, get over it. What? There has to be something absurdly evil about saying get over it in the context of gang rape, torture, and murder for religious reasons. Something like this would never be said in any other group for lesser crimes, and he says, once again, get over it. All right, so just understand, this is Jonathan Brown, a professor at Georgetown, responding to a post saying, yo, I really don't like that Muslims keep raping people, with get over it. Which is insane. Absolute insanity. All right, so this guy says, never get so racist so you forget that white leftists are the worst people in the world. And Elon Musk says, important reminder. All right, important reminder. Don't forget. Listen, save some of your rage for the traitors that let them rape us. All right, so anyway, this is a press conference in London. They invited this guy. This is Ahmed al-Shara. He is the current leader of Syria. Syria is currently massacring Christians, by the way. All right, England came out condemning the United States for attacking Iran. Syria is currently massacring Christians en masse, and they invited him to England. And watch this fucking monkey fail to open a bottle and need a woman to do it instead. He just can't do it. Hands it to a strong, powerful, independent woman. Oh, she figured it out.
Keep the Russian military bases in Syria.
Anyway, so yeah, just wanted to show you that because I thought it might humiliate him in England a little bit, which is always fun. So anyway, this is a scene in Pakistan of police getting chased by Islamists.
Nos voitures à Lima. Nos voitures.
Look at that. You see that shit?
Nos voitures à Lima. Ta voiture elle est où?
Oh, if you notice the language, you'll notice that actually this is not Pakistan. This is France.
La police est pas.
Yep. This is just Islamists chasing police out of their territory. Yep. France, ladies and gentlemen. They condemned us. I wonder why they condemned us from attacking the Strait of Hormuz. I wonder why France condemned us for attacking Iranian terrorists. That's so weird. So here's a pretty horrifying story that seems to be happening more and more these days. I feel like I have to do a racist video now and again. Every once in a while, I have to remind you guys what our values are. Okay, a little bit of racism, I think, keeps people safe. So this is a story of a Muslim Uber driver, Ahmed Ali, pretending to drop off a drunk girl in the United States. Instead, he drove her to a secluded area and raped her. Her family found her by tracking her phone. Now, this entire courtroom is full of Somalis that support the rapist.
58-year-old Ahmed Ali, an Uber driver accused of a heinous crime.
Where they're asking that the court find probable cause for rape in the second degree and kidnapping in the first degree.
The victim relying on Ali's service as a rideshare driver to get back safely. Instead, documents say Ali used his Uber app to make it seem like he dropped the victim off, then drove here to this secluded location outside of Olympia and raped the victim.
She is fearful if he is released, or expressed that she would be fearful.
No shit.
The probable cause documents say the family of the
I can't believe his name is HASAN. All the Hassans I know are such good people usually.
victim got worried when the woman did not return home. The father, using his phone, tracked his daughter's location to the scene of the assault and found the victim naked in the back seat of Ali's car, with Ali scrambling back to the front seat,
What a
trying to
nightmare.
pull his pants up.
There is a substantial
What a
danger
nightmare.
that the defendant will commit a new violent crime, and this is based on the nature of these allegations.
Documents say the victim's family beat up Ali, and at least 2 shots were fired. Investigators say Ali tried to flee the scene, despite medics saying he needed help. In court, Ali still had bandages on his hands. Near the scene of the attack, I spoke to a dad who told me it's horrifying to hear what happened to someone else's daughter on Father's Day weekend.
You know, to me, it's justice, and it should have never happened to begin with.
Obviously.
Right?
How could we have avoided this? How could we have avoided this from taking place? And the courtroom, of course, was full of Somalis. The entire Somali community came together to support this pedophile.
Dad was able to be
Isn't that
there.
beautiful?
The suspect is a father himself.
Oh!
5
A father himself! What an angel! 5 children that are now Americans that we have to deal with.
children.
That's amazing. Look at that. Look at the community coming to support him. Isn't that nice? Deport all these fuckers. Do it. They obviously don't think this is a bad guy. Deport these dumb fucks. We don't need them here. Like, I'm being honest with you. This is insanity. Insanity that we need to be subjected to this shit, right? And then you wonder why the actual crime statistics in Minnesota look like this. 6% of the population, 60% of the violent crime. This is insane. This is absolutely damning, right? And then they say that you're racist. Actually, you're racist for saying racist. Racist? They should stop raping and I'll be a little less racist, okay? Worry about bigger issues, you dumbasses. This is absolute craziness, right? This is what Trump had to say about Somalis just today.
Somalia is just terrible. A lot of people say it's the worst country anywhere in the world. True. They have no money, no nothing. They have no government. They have no police. They just shoot each other all day long.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
It's just pure bedlam. And probably the worst, most dangerous country.
That's what they do.
Beauties. They go to Minnesota.
They rape.
And they stole $19 billion.
That's not good.
$19 billion.
I don't like that at all.
And they're low IQ.
They're true. Objectively true.
Generalize. They're low IQ people. They're bad people. They have 94% unemployment. In other words, they don't want to work, you know. There's a lot of jobs available, right, with the economy. They don't want to work. Why would they work? And
why would they work if they could just vote to get your money for free? If they could open up their nice leering centers. Of course, another guy named HASAN, interestingly, just like this other pedophile named HASAN, that's crazy, said this is proud language of a white supremacist. Yep, you're a white supremacist if you're anti-rape, I guess, it seems. Anyway, so understand what's going on. In France, all right, they had a church burned down, all right, they had other crazy stories going on. Muslims chasing police out of their territory. French MEP Rima Hassan, who led the flotilla to Gaza together with Greta Thunberg, was placed in police custody in Paris. You know, for allegedly glorifying terrorism. Wow, that's so weird. Didn't see that coming. So this is a nice, wholesome story of Abdulmol Ibrahim. Sounds like a straight white male to me. He had 15 prior arrests. He's from Sudan. And let's see if we can notice anything wrong with this video. If you notice something here, you're probably a racist. That's right. So this is a mom and her girl just sitting there with Mr. Ibrahim over here, who seems to be coming close and trying to come into the house and blocks the door. Wow. What the fuck is this? 15 arrests? What the fuck is this? And he just takes the kid. What the fuck is this? And he ends up running away. Thank God she was fine. Excuse me, what? This should radicalize the fuck out of you, man. 15 prior arrests. Now, this is Tony Blair, you know, former super important British guy. All right, this is his sister-in-law. All right, this is the sister-in-law of one of the most important and powerful people in England.
After October the 7th, this October the 7th, a legendary day.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable tragedy. You know, terrorist Islamists went into Israel, murdered 1,300 people, raped hundreds of women, and took hostages.
In the Ummah's history, yes? We can say that people are now picking up the Quran because of the steadfastness and sabr of the people of Gaza.
She's actually saying that the October 7th massacre was actually a really fucking good thing, and Muslims love it, and they're becoming so much holier because of all the rape that happened and murder.
specifically to find the beauty in the Quran.
Yeah, when the Quran says slit the kafar at the throat, all right, and Jews and Christians are the lowest of people, it's so inspiring when you see Jews and Christians getting murdered.
How many millions will accept Islam because of this? Only Allah knows.
Oh, so many people are so inspired by the mass killing and torture.
We're at a tipping point in history. Don't be downhearted.
Sister-in-law of one of the most powerful men in England. Now, you have to understand what we're dealing with here. This is literally an entire worldwide event that we're dealing with. This is Francesca Albanese, all right? This is in England. She's saying this in a conference today in England. Get ready.
They've been tortured to death. There are more than 100 people who have been killed, including journalists and doctors, medical personnel. Rape has been so pervasive.
I love how she says it like she makes believe she actually cares, right? While they import infinite rapists into their own country, they talk about rape in Gaza or something.
Men have been raped.
Oh, get ready. This is awesome.
Rods, with batons.
There's no evidence to any of this, by the way.
With bottles, with dogs.
Dogs.
Europeans who train dogs.
Right. Get ready. This is great. Right, so understand this is the scariest thing in the world for a Muslim because they hate dogs. So understand what's going on here. Right, we have Francesca Albanese ignoring the rape gang scandal in England, talking about how Europeans are training dogs to rape Palestinians. Like, these people have fabricated so much shit and manipulated the left in our global countries so much. It's insane. It's insane. Honestly insane. This is an article from today in the Daily Mail in England. Teenage mob chaos spreads to other towns and cities as youth supercharged with social media riot and ransack shops in London and Birmingham during Eastern holiday link-ups. Look at this image. They blurred the face of all the black people, and they only didn't blur the face of the one white person. It's honestly insane. It's insane. They pixelated every black guy and brown guy and Muslim, and they only left the one white girl unpixelized when they're talking about violence. Well, holy fuck! They're like, white people at it again. Sea of fucking brown in the background. Like, I'm just being real here. All right, this is Muhammad from Pakistan who attempted to rape a 13-year-old British girl. And they call him out for it. And he defends himself pretty well here.
Couldn't control myself.
Couldn't control myself. She was 13, and how was I supposed to control myself around 13-year-old girl? How? How could I control myself? She's 13. This is the age of woman in Islam. I'm really glad that we brought these people into our countries, man. All right. So this is Rupert Lowe. I read how a failed Pakistani asylum seeker repeatedly abused and raped an 8-year-old girl has been jailed for 15 years. He abused her in her own home and bedroom. She was told that if she told anyone, she would die. I wouldn't deport him. Under restore Britain government with the British people's approval, the death penalty would be reintroduced to such evils and undeniable crimes. He would be put to death. If you rape a young child, you do not deserve to live. It's that simple. And he's right. And it's crazy. And the backlash he's been getting is wild, but honestly, people are actually starting to follow him. This is crazy. I would rather be called a racist or an Islamophobe than enable rape, to be honest. After what we've seen and heard at the rape gang inquiry, those meaningless words have no impact anymore. And he's just completely right about this. He is just objectively, completely right about this. All right? These words mean nothing. The words mean nothing. The issue was too big for me to care about your fucking bullshit labels and words and terms. A woke guy called you racist. You should kill yourself now. Just let them rape you. Let them rape you, bro. So Douglas Murray went on the BBC, all right, British broadcasting cock. All right, this is essentially just it's a propaganda campaign at this point. Literally a propaganda for left-wing Eurocuck values in England. So Douglas Murray, he's a right-wing journalist. He went on and apparently he destroyed them.
Because of that threat of Islamic extremism, we should have less Islam in this country. Was that a wise phrase, talking about less Islam?
Well, I think it's perfectly wise phrase, perfectly open to misrepresentation. I think I said it at the encouragement of the BBC.
Well, I'm reading your article.
It was
you
on the
wrote
BBC.
In the Sun.
It was on the BBC, that's why.
I'm quoting what you said in the Sun, less Islam. Surely less Islam means less people of the Muslim faith. That means less Sajid Javids, less Sadiq Khans.
Well, that
it
depends.
means
True-based.
Anyone who's a Muslim. That's what it means, isn't it? Isn't that provocative?
I mean, it would also mean less people like the Abaidi family, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
But the point is, you're talking about less Islam. That is Muslim people.
No. Just bear with me, because I know.
My guy, we do not owe anything to anyone. We, as in the Western world, signed the Western world. We do not owe third world rapists and retards literally fucking anything. We don't need to toss a coin and be like, well, you know, the good news is only 50% of Muslims are extremists. So therefore, well, we have to just flip a coin every time we import one. We don't have to play that game. In fact, it doesn't matter what the number is. We owe them nothing.
Better than you, what I think. This country has had a wildly stupid and lax immigration policy for decades. And we allowed people like the Abedi family, a family of jihadists who'd fallen out with Colonel Gaddafi because they were from rival jihadist groups. When the Abedi family fell out with Colonel Gaddafi, they came first to London and then to Manchester. And one of the sons they gave this country was Salman Abedi, who at the age of 22 killed 22 young girls at the Manchester Arena.
Oh my fucking God,
with a suicide bomb. One, by the way, for every year of life this country gave him. His brothers just stabbed and thrown boiling oil at 3 prison wards. Let me bear with you. Why were the Abedi, hang on, why were the Abedi family in the UK?
Great question.
Why is nobody interested in asking that? And I'll tell you what the problem here is. There are lots of types of extremism. You get far-right extremism, far-left extremism. When it comes to jihadist extremism, jihadism comes from Islam. Therefore, if it's 1%, 5%, 15% of people of the Muslim faith who follow that version of it, you've got a hell of a problem. And the more people,
he's just right.
The larger, this is simple math.
Let's say it's only 1%. We should not be bringing in 100 Muslims.
The larger the number of people who are followers of a faith that has not solved the extremism problem in its midst or drawn suitable lines, the more extremism you will have. You don't get that from the Catholic Church in 2023 or 4. You don't get it from the Methodists. You won't get it from the Quakers, and you won't get it from the Anglican Church.
Of course there is a problem with fundamentalism and Islamic extremism.
And fundamentalist Islam comes...
So why should we import millions of Afghans if he's admitting that, well, yeah, it's true. You know, 10% might rape and kill us, but, you know.
Islam, you're saying less of everyone, which means less Sajid David,
no, it doesn't.
less Sadiq Khan.
No,
and
it's not on an individual level. We just shouldn't open our borders to people that want to kill us.
No problem at all with Sajid. No, of course it's not stereotyping. I mean, this is a kind of dated conversation to my mind.
That's right. And they just try to hit him with the woke talking points. Are you being racist right now?
This is all being addressed elsewhere. As we speak. And nobody else is as incredibly slow in learning as the British media and political class when it comes to this problem. Why is it the case that Saturday after Saturday we have thousands of people going through major British cities who support the death cults who would murder Jews and the rest of us next? That's a question you and I and Newsnight should answer.
Douglas Murray, thank you for talking to Newsnight.
Wow, thank you so much for coming on our show. We totally learned a lot. Anyway, and this is what England's going through. And now you wonder why. So, breaking news. Buckingham Palace has confirmed that King Charles will not issue an Easter message this year. Excuse me, what? The Christian nation of England will not be issuing an Easter message, but they issued this for Ramadan?
Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Muslims across the United Kingdom...
This is the worst betrayal I've ever seen.
...Commonwealth begin preparations to celebrate Eid after fasting for the holy month of Ramadan, I just wanted to convey my heartfelt best wishes to all who celebrate this festival and to tell you just how much my wife and I are thinking of you at this special time of year. This last year, I know, has been deeply challenging for us all. And I'm only too aware of the...
I'm tired. I can't. Now, over 1,800 killed since junta seized power in Burkina Faso, rights group says. No one talks about it. No one cares. Let's import millions of them into our countries. At least Japan isn't fucking dealing with this shit anymore. They're just totally done with it.
Japanese man tries desperately to get a group of migrant men to behave and stop littering on the streets. Here we go.
Inside room. Station out. Is it? Okay. Is there any place? No, he just recording. In Japan.
What the fuck you mean in Japan? Dude, and these guys will say they're Japanese. I'm just as Japanese as you are. When you come to another country, obey the rules. Do not mess things up for the people in the country. Smoking on the streets, littering. God, he's so right. Based.
Look, see how violent and aggressive these people are? And look at this here. Illegal immigrant who attacks someone in Japan gets deported.
Based.
I don't want to go back. Immigration officer, it doesn't matter. We're taking you.
Based. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. Our countries need to survive. That comes first.
We're lucky we even have a plane. We're taking you no matter what.
Yeah, cry about it. Cry about it. A leftist is tearing up the Constitution somewhere. That'll work. Bye. Bye.
Japan is deporting children of migrants, man with Indian parents. The immigration officers are telling us to go back to our parents' home country.
Bye.
Sin was born and raised in Japan. It's the only country he's ever known, but immigration authorities want him out.
The immigration authorities are telling us to go back to our parents' home country, but I've never been to India. The immigration authorities must be kidding themselves.
Gursiwak is one of at least 500 children born and raised in Japan with no legal rights.
See,
there it is. No birthright citizenship. Get the fuck out.
That's why y'all are getting sent home.
Who say they fled India.
They were literally not allowed to be here. What, you're gonna blame Japan? It's the only country I ever knew. Blame your parents for putting you here illegally. yeah, you're gonna go. Look, man, we need to follow. We need laws. We need laws that we need to follow. Otherwise, we're fucking cooked. Otherwise, we're the barbarians that we're breaking into our countries. I'm sorry that sucks for you. And I'm sure your life is gonna be shit because of it. And it's really not our problem, actually. You know, we have a lot of issues. We don't need you to add to our issues. And I'm sorry your life sucks. Figure it out.
To escape religious persecution.
This is the reason why y'all get removed. You get these people that think that they're like entitled to go to any country because it's bad in their country. New laws in Japan make it almost impossible to gain citizenship if you aren't born there. Live here for 10 years, don't commit crime, and pay your taxes.
Based! Why should anyone... They're just so... We need this in America immediately. Yes! It's literally that simple. Live for 10 years, don't commit crime, pay your taxes. I would add, learn the language, learn Japanese, or learn, American, all right? I would add that to the list. But yes, why else should you become a citizen? Think about it.
The list is almost impossible. Japan obviously is voting against this. The reason why Japan is more easily able to inoculate from these kinds of problems...
They don't have white guilt. I think that's why. I think that's because they don't have like these liberal white retards destroying our countries.
It's because they haven't gone through the massive racial guilt that I think Western countries have gone through because of Hitler and other forms of like slavery and stuff like that. But if you know anything about history, you would know that basically every country...
I think also our countries... this might be controversial, and I don't want to upset anybody with this. I think that Christianity is a very, very loving... forgiving religion, and I think a lot of leftists that hate God will weaponize the real empathy that a lot of people have to destroy them, and I think it's so sad, but I think it happened in our countries.
Every culture, every group has done systematic racism, has done slavery, and everything else in between. So that's really the main reason why it doesn't happen over there, and that's the reason why they're able to get rid of it.
Yeah, and that too, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, you know, after the Holocaust, everyone was like, well, Hitler was white. I guess white people have to literally just shut up and fucking die. You know, and it's retarded. It's completely retarded. It's insane, and it's evil. It's just racism, actually. But yeah, we're fucking tired of this shit. Everyone is tired of it. Everyone that's being honest and reasonable is. Now, a lot of people don't want to talk about it because obviously no one wants to be branded racist, Islamophobic, whatever the fuck. We want these people out. We want our countries to thrive. We don't think that bringing people into our country that doesn't benefit our country actually helps. And therefore, we're going to stop doing that. Maybe it won't happen today. Maybe it won't happen tomorrow. But the revolution is coming. The year of the Great Crusade, 2026. I'm telling you, man, everyone's waking up. All right, I gotta hit you with some good news. I'm sorry, we can't do the depressing, sad stuff forever, all right? So, we just made history. All right, we just made history. We launched a rocket. It went very far into space, which is real, Candace, and it's honestly pretty incredible stuff.
Ready to ride the most powerful rocket.
Is this the
Look
strongest
at that.
rocket of all time?
Yes, woke people are already making. Yes, yes. I'm already seeing the comments. Yes, yes. Woke people are already saying, "Oh, it was a black astronaut. That's why they were able to fly so far." All right, dude. All right, we're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Everyone's losing their mind over this.
NASA has ever launched. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Imagine being the guy who can do the countdown.
Engines lit.
Wow, dude.
4,
This is
3,
awesome.
2, 1. Booster ignition.
America, baby.
Damn.
And liftoff.
America!
The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon.
God bless our
Humanity's
country!
next great voyage begins.
What happened to the...
God bless our country.
Oh my...
God bless our people.
Damn!
God gave us the intellect to do this.
Houston now controlling the...
We were here, bro!
Holy
we were
shit.
here! Look at that. Absolute history.
That's a rocket? Yeah. Holy fuck, look at that.
Mission elapsed time.
Damn.
Passing 1 minute. Approaching max Q.
On, constantly on.
Hassan Piker talking somewhere about how the Houthis are actually the pinnacle of civilization.
And we have you loud and clear.
All right, purge the Xenos. Let's go for the Emperor.
Signal transfer confirmed as integrity.
1,000 years, human crusade, great crusade.
No supersonic. Confirmed separation.
Dude, that's so
Main
sick.
engines throttling up.
Look
Guiding
at that.
Those are the booster things, yeah. Fuck.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage.
Shit.
But I was told that space is fake and gay by Candace Owens.
Ready.
It's round, guys. Well, I don't know. Yeah, just wait till they... Oh, bro. No, no, no. Turn it off. Turn it off. No.
Wow, dude.
Look how
that's
fast it
incredible.
took. And now they're already up in space and shit. God damn. Shut it down. No, no.
Houston integrity, good last jettison, great view. And
Look at
Houston
that,
has you
dude.
loud and
That's
clear
incredible.
on Tetris at the common line.
Greatest April Fool's joke
3
ever.
minutes 50 seconds
So
to the flight
true.
of Artemis 2. Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and
So
Hansen crossed
true.
the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy.
Wait, guys, why is there a Sora logo at the
We
corner?
see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Damn, look at that.
That's crazy.
Integrity, 3 engines.
That is so crazy,
On time
dude.
now, passing 5 minutes 20
Sun's
seconds. of
radiation
mission elapsed
affects the
time into
camera?
arc. About 10 seconds remaining until the main engine cutoff of the Space Launch System core stage.
We'll watch out for the space suit.
Oh! Dude, this is awesome! Holy shit!
Core stage has separated, done its job. The Space Launch System upper stage, the Interim Cryogenic Propulsion Stage, or ICPS, still attached to the Orion spacecraft.
We conquered the stars! We conquered space! We are the kings! The inheritors of civilization! Our inventions have changed and forever will change history. We have done unfathomable, unthinkable things. We are incredible. We, by the grace of God, have been able to go where no man has gone before. We are the best country in the world. We are the best. We have the best culture. We are better. It's not a bad thing to recognize the truth. It's not even prideful to recognize the truth. It's just the truth. It's the reality. It's who we are. We are conquerors. We are explorers. We are navigators. Thank God. And the left hates it. So, of course, Sky News is crying about it, how actually this is really the first time a space mission represents humanity, because before it was only white people, and white people don't represent humanity.
Yeah, and they are going for all humanity this time, you know? Apollo was all white men.
Apollo was white men, so it wasn't for humanity. This one is, though, because this one has a black man in the crew. There's a black man there, so therefore this one really counts. Holy fuck, they hate us so much.
And this time it's not. And I think that really speaks volumes for the journey that NASA...
Does it? Does it, though? So you mean to tell me that under Trump, we went for humanity, whereas under all the other presidents, we didn't?
...has been on, and this is a much more representative crew, and you can feel emotional about that. It's a...
Yeah, you can feel the motion that it's this one. This one's actually real. It's fucking stupid monkey over here. The reporter, not the astronaut. That came out weird. But this fucking monkey is such a retard. White people are humans, bitch. All right, yeah. It was also for humanity. We're awesome, actually. Humans are great, and our astronaut guy is awesome too. Right. So this is the pilot, Victor Glover. He gave a response to a leftist reporter asking him about his skin color.
It is a big question, and I want to highlight, I guess, maybe one facet of this is the tension, I call it. I live in this, this dichotomy between happiness that a young woman can look at Christina and just physicalize her passion or her interest, or even if it's not something she wants to do, she can just be like girl power, and that's awesome. And that young brown boys and girls can look at me and go, hey, he looks like me and he's doing what? And that's great. I love that. But I also hope we are pushing the other direction, that one day we don't have to talk about these first, that one day this is...
That's right. That's right. He's an incredibly successful, incredible, skilled astronaut pilot guy that's going to be doing something incredible for humanity in America. This isn't one large step for black people. All right. I mean, I guess it may be sure too also, but that's not the point here. All right. It's these people that racialize everything that's driving us apart, actually.
Just, and I listen to this, that this is the human history. It's about human history. It's the story of humanity.
That's right.
Not black history, not women's history.
That's right. It's not about diversity, all right? It's about human history, and history was made today. Of course, Ed Fagotstein over here, large leftoid retard, says, I wish Charlie Kirk was alive to see this. A black astronaut, Victor Glover, piloting the Artemis 2nd and doing it better than a white dude could. Rip Charlie. Honestly, just insane levels of delusion and hatred coming from the left every single day. Charlie Kirk would have had no issues with this because he earned his spot, right? He didn't get this spot because he was a DEI hire. He actually earned it, which is why he's there. Charlie would have had no issues with this, all right? And it's unbelievable watching just the endless mocking, but this is implying that Ed Krasenstein didn't think black people were actually able to pilot aircrafts, which I think is an issue. But I just want it to be real. CNN went to a kid and got absolutely smoked by this, like, 11-year-old kid. Fucking smoked CNN.
Why do you want to be here? Why do you love...
Why do you want to be here? Why is this? What's this all about?
Space. Why do you love being a part of history?
Why do you love this? Why do you love this, kid? Huh? Why do you love this?
Going back to the fucking moon.
We're going back to the fucking moon. That's right, you retard. What do you even... What question is this? We're going back to the fucking moon. The kids are going to be all right. The kids are going to be all right. The kids are awesome. The kids are going to be all right. Now, I just wanted to show you this clip because we already have the Candace Owens conspiracy theories that this is fake. So Michael Knowles was actually there, all right? And he's a Catholic, all right, just like Candace Owens claims to be, all right? And he's there at this this launch of the rocket, and everyone's asking him, oh my God, it's a green screen behind you. It's all fake. It's not true.
Michael, go touch the grass. It looks like a green screen. Okay, you know what? Fine. You know what? Fine. Okay, I'm going to have to take my microphone off. I don't care. I need to prove to you that this is real. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm taking my ears out. Can I prove this?
Oh, shit. That's grass. He pulled out grass. It's real grass. That was gay. That's grass.
Why are you handing me the donut? This is real.
Yeah, sorry, Candace. Terrible day for Candace Owens. Great day for mankind.
I hope that did it. I want this donut. There.
Well, that's awkward.
Did I convince you? It was the most exercise I've had in years.
He's like panting from jumping.
Did I convince you? I need to put my ears back in. Let's see. Let's see. Look what I do for you.
Insane.
I want to know, did I convince you?
And you know that they're just like, nope, still not convinced. You're paid. you're on the Mossad payroll.
That this is real.
It is real. It is real. It is real. It is real. Flat Earthers on a clear day. Flat Earthers on a clear day. True, true. Yeah, so the reality is a lot of people crying, a lot of people coping. They're still trying to push their conspiracies. Obviously, it's not a good day for conspiracy theorists, but it's a great day for mankind. America actually is fucking awesome. We are the ones that harnessed God's providence and took us to where no man has gone before. They're trying to take our country from us. But we are fucking awesome, actually, and we're gonna win. Anyway, that was today's big deep dive on all the things that happened. Me recording once again from my car, sort of on vacation for the holidays. I might be missing uploads over the next few days. I might not. Well, I'll do what I can. I'll do what I can. I am America first, and I am my audience of retard cave dwellers that need my that want to watch a blue retard talk about what other retards are doing in the world. You know. So, but I do appreciate you guys a lot. I joke. I jest. My appreciation for you is absolutely through the roof. You people are incredible. And I'm so honored to have an audience that's willing to listen to me yap and say things that quite literally more people should have the courage to say. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and stay weird. Oh, and also subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing would be really nice. So nice subscribe. Numbers will go up, and I'll be like, wow, numbers going up. Wow. Yeah, definitely subscribe.